these limits on what a human body could or should do.
And I've been dreaming about running the long trail since I was a kid. Four and a half days with very, very little sleep and lots of miles to cover. That's a new barrier for me to break.
The distance that Nikki is planning to run is staggering. 10 marathons in a row, non-stop.
It'd be very bad to fall here.
Anything can happen in ultra running.
As a physical therapist, I would not tell my patient to do what I'm doing. I mean, it's not smart.
You actually can start to get a little delusional.
I want her to keep going. I think if she stops to sleep, she's going to realize she's not going to break the record.
I just need 5 minutes. I want to die.
Our life is governed by what we are capable of doing, and that determines what we become.
I did not sleep well at all. I don't think anybody did. I kept I was up pretty much all night.
Everybody was tossing and turning.
The record I've chosen to go after is steep. It's definitely held by somebody who is a faster ultra runner on a normal ultra, 50-mile course than I am. His name is Jonathan Basham, and he ran 4 days, 12 hours, and 30-something minutes. So I've got to get it under that. And I think it's doable. Well, the sign looks pretty darn official.
Yeah, same here. And the blades changed color.
Yeah. Okay, Dennis, everybody ready? I'll wait till it says 6:05. About 20 seconds. I think women tend to deal when it gets really long and really nasty. I think women have, if not an advantage over men, less of a physical disadvantage than we do in the shorter stuff. 5. And so that's where I'm hoping that I can gain my advantage. And go! Go, Dennis! There is nothing in the world when you get past a certain point of deprivation but survival. I've explored these parts of myself and my soul, but I don't know what the limits are, and I guess that's part of why I'm doing this. I'm going to be playing it by ear. I've never done anything like this. I've got a team of at least 30 people. I've got a doctor, a massage person, and a lot of people who are going to meet me at different places with food. My expectation is that we'll run about 70 miles a day. We're going to be hiking all the uphills, running the flats and downhills. Because if we start out too fast, we won't make it. I mean, something bad will happen. These are recovery drinks. And a pair of shorts. I think I've done all I can in racing. I mean, I've won all the biggest races that I wanted to win, and now I'm moving on to something that may be more meaningful.
I feel like Nikki maybe feels like this is going to be the high point of her career if she breaks the record. It's held by a man right now, and I know she likes being up there competing with the men.
Safety whistle.
I didn't notice it.
You use that just to disturb other Sorry.
I put 2 years of work into this, and I have so many people helping me.
I'm really nervous, and I mean, I'm trusting that I can do something that's not necessarily possible.
But that's what extreme sports are about doing stuff that people think isn't possible.
Three rocks. Just run and power hike. So we're about an hour and 20 minutes in. It's great. How are you feeling? Good. I got involved with the long trail. It was actually at a North Face race. I saw Nikki and I was like, "Hey, Nikki, it's been a long time. Do you remember me?" She was like, "Of course I do." And she was like, "Hey, so I'm doing this like run, this long run. Do you want to crew and pace for me?" And I was kind of like, "Who are you talking to?" But I'm really excited that I, got involved. And back to a hill.
I'm just getting to know Dennis, and I'm so lucky because it was a big gamble. He's one of those people you meet and you feel like you've known each other your whole lives. And that happens a lot in running. We have these connections that are sort of a priori.
I think a lot of what I love about this stuff is the danger and the adrenaline rush of like, it's like an addiction.
Oh, it is. I am quite addictive personality. Running helps.
Absolutely.
I said, "What do you need?" She said, "Bacon, more bacon, eggs, cheese, and cheeseburgers." All I know is the shopping list has bacon, bacon, and more bacon on it. Basically, I think in terms of nutrition for ultra running, there are a lot of different possibilities. Seems to split into a couple of camps to me. There are the folks who really rely on the gels, the goos, the specialty race drinks. I tend to favor the "what is my body craving right now" school of thought.
What's up with the bacon?
I'm not sure. I think it's a Nikki favorite. Yeah. High calorie, fat, salt, some protein, easy to digest.
What do you want to eat? What do you want to eat?
If there's any Udi's oil out, that'd be great. If not,
Udi's oil?
We've got eggs and bacon, and you get to weigh yourself.
Oh, eggs and bacon. Oh, thank you. I forgot to do that.
Yeah. So Nikki, you got people who are tracking and following. Aid stations are definitely like NASCAR. We want to have everything prepared, ready, cooked, get her fixed up and ready to go as soon as possible. It can be disastrous if we have something misplaced and she doesn't go out prepared. Cooper that says, "Hey Nikki, I just wanted you to know that I'm cheering for you here in Good Livingston, Montana.
Awesome.
Can't wait to hear that you have smashed the record. Go girl, love ya." Betsy Baker says, we've got Peter. "Good luck, Nikki.
How you doing, David?
I'm looking forward to following your status. I hope you have good weather, a tasty bacon cheeseburger."
You want to carry extra bacon?
No,
Baggie of bacon.
I can actually just put that in my pocket.
We have this small bag.
I have a bacon pocket.
You have a bacon pocket. That's good.
Okay, guys, thank you very much.
Okay,
Nikki.
Whoops.
Perfect. I think we're good to go.
GoPro.
GoPro, yes.
All right. Adios,
All
Jen.
right, see you, Jen.
Fun.
Good job, Nikki.
New battery in the GoPro.
Meet me where you're going, 'cause I wanna be going where you are. Teach me what you're knowing, 'cause I wanna be knowing who you are. Run away with me,
I grew up just several miles from the long trail. That's literally where I learned to walk. And I've been dreaming about running the long trail since I was a kid.
much more each time.
She's a tough woman, tremendous determination. And we saw this as she was growing up. She was just, she was not going to be beaten. And that's Nikki.
My father and brother were both ski racers, and my dreams of being a professional or Olympic athlete started very, very young. And then I ended up going to graduate school in Philadelphia, where I knew that ski racing was not going to be my career. And I started running. And it was really when I started running ultras that I realized I was really good at it.
Will you be my home now? And I'll be...
Most of what I've done in running has been by myself. So I thought that it would be fun to bring some teamwork into running. I wanted to pair it with something where I could help Girls on the Run, being the nonprofit I really wanted to support. I thought, I want other people to gain what I've gained. And Girls on the Run gets girls exposed to running at an early age.
Beautiful. Come on, gift. Gorgeous. Yeah.
I love getting people who've never run to start to run and discover that it's really fun, or to start to be active in any way. I mean, that's part of the whole long trail expedition is let's get people to see that being outdoors will make them happy.
Oh my God, thank you. Oh, thanks.
That little swollen section?
Got it.
Yeah. A rock came and hit me right here at full speed.
On. Andrea?
Damn it. It'll feel much better once I get going again.
Yeah.
Ginger ale or something.
I bought you a popsicle, but
Oh my God.
it's still kind of slushy.
That's awesome. That's what I want to
You
drink.
want water?
That's awesome.
Nikki keeps up on the pace that she's on right now. She will be ahead of the guy who holds the record right now. She'll be sleeping ahead of where he slept on the first sleep.
We need that. And also the emergency light, because we just can't run out of lights. Sorry, Dennis, I'm loading you like a mule.
That's what I am.
But you're going to get a resupply at 5 miles. I'll let you guys figure that out. Where do I go?
Okay. Go out here and down.
You keep running.
Okay, Nikki.
Hey, guys!
I'll make you sandwiches. You stand there.
No. Thank you.
Right in there.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. Good job. Keep it up.
I think running appeals to a lot of people now, especially because we are more and more constrained. We can't really be ourselves. We have to follow these rules and those rules, and we have less and less freedom. And freedom is what we need, and running is an outlet for true freedom and letting loose.
There is something for me more sacred in that world, in the world where I'm under physical duress and where I'm in beautiful places.
Yeah, guys.
Things aren't always easy. I mean, I might be in a lot of pain, but when I'm in that state, maybe it's easier to handle pain because time stops. When you feel that intense and exquisite pain, everything else melts away.
Hey, how's it going? Hey there. How are you guys?
Good.
Awesome. What do you want?
So are we at 108?
Yeah.
I feel really good,
but I'm ahead of time.
Yeah.
And I don't want to spend the whole night.
Yeah.
Like, that was on the thought that I was, oh my God.
It was on the gnarly side, that section of the trail.
Yeah, here we go. But that was on the thought that I was going to get here at 4 a.m. I'm 2 hours ahead, so I might as well sleep. Oh my God, that burger is made out of something really good. Definitely going well so far. And I feel pretty good.
Okay, I will see you in a couple hours. Sleep well, Nick.
Thank you, thank you.
It's harder to eat as time goes on.
I think he's doing really well.
Yeah.
She ate a lot. She's moving really well. She looks like she's walking almost normally.
Why, thank you.
Down the road. See you soon.
Thanks. See ya. I'm not starting at a run.
So we are climbing and we're getting up into the high alpine vegetation and we have a pretty stunning view.
We've got some completely non-technical climbing.
Oh yeah, and look what Nikki's doing. I guess this is exciting. Nice. So she's just kicking my ass.
I'm not hearing anything. Water pressure.
Got some birds ridge soaring here. Pretty cool. Beautiful. Hello! Yeah. You're shaking my confidence, baby. I know that word. Nikki and I train a lot together. We usually make all of our workouts fun. A workout is fun if it includes singing or farting or dirty jokes, lots of dogs. All those things make a workout a lot of fun.
I first met Jenny a few years ago. She was referred to me from one of the local doctors.
I had an Achilles tendon injury that kept coming back every time I would try to run and just made it so I couldn't even hike at all.
You know, through just a few weeks of treating her, she was able to run again. I've got the best crew I could possibly have. I mean, I'm running with my best friend. The doctor gave me a good present when he recommended she come to see me.
Oh, no! No! And I didn't even lose the dog.
Here's our first ladder section. Down she goes. Good ladder skills.
Why, thank you.
My turn. We're on course. There's a blaze.
Definitely.
Yeah. The trails out east are different technical running than I've ever done before. We're going straight up and straight down. I have seen very few switchbacks.
Be very bad to fall here.
Technical running, you have to be fast on your feet. And if you're making too heavy and solid of a footstep and not ready to quickly switch to another foot, I mean, you'll go down.
Oh, good catch. Good catch.
The distance that Nikki is planning to run is staggering. 10 marathons in a row, non-stop. The most scary part, from my perspective, is there's a whole series of musculoskeletal injuries that she could sustain, which would basically stop her from continuing.
Yeah, if you can come, like, you get steps more on the outer.
I was a really good technical runner
At my best, I was, no one passed me on the downhills. I'm just so much slower than that now on the downhills. My legs just don't work the same way, which is a huge bummer for something like the long trail.
I'm just trying to save my knees because I want to be able to run when I can run.
Yep.
I hate going down like an old lady, but
Listen,
if I run it,
it's not old lady. This is extremely steep. And even though it's not slick rock, you still slide on it even with the grip because it's so steep.
Yeah.
I'm not at my physical peak anymore, but that doesn't mean that it's not worth looking for limits.
One step back, one step forward.
Learning to walk was a challenge. As a toddler, I was serial casted for many months to try to get my feet not to turn in so I wouldn't trip over myself. After the serial casting was done, the therapist wanted me cross-country skiing because if your feet turn in, your tips are going to catch on one another and you'll fall down. So you'll learn pretty quickly to point your feet the correct direction. So I don't know of any life without doing sports. A woman friended me on Facebook recently and said, "You've been an inspiration to me." And I sort of wrote back to her, I'm like, why? And it turns out she's lost 150 pounds. And she's now doing triathlons and running races. That person's going to live longer. She's not going to get type 2 diabetes because she's doing these sports, and I was part of that. People aren't happy when they have no energy because they don't do any sports. And people aren't happy when they're in pain. And when I see high school kids having low back pain because they're too fat, that's a big problem. Winning races doesn't matter in itself. It doesn't matter at all. But if you can inspire somebody to be healthier, that matters.
Yeah, Jenny, Nikki, you guys are killing it. Yeah.
Good joke. Oh, yeah.
Get that one. I'll get this one.
Where are we right now?
We are right here.
Oh, so I'm way the hell behind time.
I wasn't looking forward to telling you.
God damn it.
Okay, you've got
Right.
okay. Catch up.
You went through really tough terrain. You're gonna have some easier stuff where you've got the road coming up.
Yeah,
so
you've got to
be able to move.
You're rested, so today's going to be a great day, Nick.
She thinks she's behind schedule, like her worst case scenario. I mean, so it's kind of, it really depends upon the terrain and how fast she can move through it. And we have to try to keep her positive. That's the biggest thing, because if she feels like she's behind schedule and stuff like that, it's going to put her in a bad mental state, and that's not something that we want to do. We want to keep her positive.
Yes.
The fastest men are faster than the fastest women, but only by a small degree. And that difference decreases as the distance becomes longer.
30 seconds.
There have certainly been women running 100-mile races that have consistently beat men, consistently come in first place.
20 seconds.
At those distances, the differences between males and females more or less disappear.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go!
Women have come a long way in sport through my lifetime, but we aren't equal, and women get paid a lot less in terms of prize money, at the top. I mean, just because I have ovaries, I'm not getting paid as well, and I'm not getting the media attention. I won this huge race in France, the Ultra Trail du Mont Blanc, and the men's winner was pictured in the paper the next day 5 or 7 times, I forget which, and there were no pictures of me. There was a little, in their huge articles about the men's race, I mean, all the way down to like 6th place, interviewing them, and then there was a little inset that said, oh, and some women ran. I think women need to take our place in sports, and we need to take our place in professional sports, and we need to show that we are worth watching.
Okay, long trail north. We do not want to go that way. I'm looking for a blaze.
Oh, that's alien.
Yeah. It's getting dark, and the trail is getting really technical and complicated. Some of these stretches, the only way in and out is on foot. You know, if any one of us were to slip, fall, get severely injured, it could definitely end the expedition. I do not have my GPS today. I was in a different vehicle, and I was like, it's the one thing I missed.
Nikki! Nikki!
Yeah, she's gonna need some private time to like.
My flip flops.
You guys can talk to me if you guys want. So, physically, her body's okay, but like right now, mentally, it's difficult. I mean, even that stretch was just incredibly difficult. Extremely steep, a lot of rocks, cliff sides. So it was pretty tough. You know, it's just frustrating. You know, especially when you start to get exhausted, it gets frustrating.
She's in a lot of pain, if that was her. So her feet are getting prepped, and I don't know what else, but there's a couple people in there working on her. She's still at this point, I think, ahead of pace. She has a huge day ahead of her.
Okay, I'm good. Well, we'll see you guys in a while.
All right, good job, Nikki.
Thanks.
So I guess my show starts now. My show starts now.
Persist despite difficulties, to keep going. With ultra running, I think we're getting back to some of our basic roots as endurance predators. You know, when we actually put ourselves to the test against many animals, we turn out to be the winners.
If you're too afraid
everyone more or less acknowledges that we are slow in a sprint compared to many other species of mammals over long distances that would be run over the course of an hour to 3 or 4 hours. Humans turn out to be exceptionally good. We turn out to be actually elite runners. Our early ancestors are thought to have chased prey animals such as antelope basically to exhaustion, followed them at a consistent pace until the animal was brought to a halt from exhaustion or from overheating.
The cheetah would have to have the prey in sight. We have it in sight in our mind, rather than in our nose or in our eyes. We have it in our mind. Only the ones who really had the passion to run would be the ones to catch the antelope. So you have to have the innate passion to do it.
This is different from regular racing in the sense that she's really racing against a clock. It's hard to describe like how different you can push yourself when there are people physically right there that you're racing against.
At a high level, in order to accomplish setting a record, means you have got to have everything right. I mean, not one thing off, because you're not running in a race against somebody else. You're running against anybody in the whole world that has ever run.
Ultra running can be a really dangerous sport. You've got to monitor yourself closely. You've got to keep a close eye on weight. If you lose too much weight, we worry about dehydration and electrolyte imbalances. If you're putting on too much weight, then we worry about hyponatremia.
Some people have heard about it in marathon running, that people just drink so much water and they start to swell. And
it's a situation in races where people have died.
Sausage fingers. I mean, I know I'm not gaining fat right now.
I'm pretty sure you're not.
Damn tree trunks. You can't have cables. That's injury pressure.
Yeah. Well, but you're also up a few pounds, right?
Oh, yeah.
So that's your ankles.
Yes! You are so hot. Hey, all of you.
Good, Nick.
nice job, Nikki.
I just washed my feet.
Single check.
Holy shit, I'm gaining a lot of weight. Not a lot of weight, but some.
And I'm going to Jenny, who's pacing? I need the thermos. Awesome.
Yesterday was disastrous. I could not go downhill. I mean, I was doing like a mile an hour downhill. But I still think the men's record is still doable if everything's absolutely perfect. But the thing is, everything had to be perfect anyway, and then it rained however much it rained. I mean that added hours to today's run. Okay, sounds good.
You're over halfway, Nick. You got this.
Go, Nikki!
This is good. Love it.
The conditions were really upsetting her. She'd slip on something and, either burst into tears or swear because she was like, I should be able to run this. If it wouldn't have rained last night, I'd be running this, and I'm losing hours. She literally said that over and over again, just super frustrated. If everything goes perfectly, she could still do it, but we're getting to the point where it's gonna be really hard for her to get there.
Nikki's mood is definitely fluctuating, and I can definitely notice that some of that is related to nutrition. When she hasn't eaten for a while, she will start to get a little more emotional. We came into a shelter that both Brenna and Jenny were there, and Nikki went through kind of a handbag of emotions. So, good job.
It's 6.9.
And then a few moments later, after she had had some food. Yeah, I always screw them up by a point or something because they're not. I'm like, every time I add it up, I'm like 1.2 plus 3.6 plus. What was that again?
And I have to backtrack.
It was crazy to see from this excited, sad, crying to happy and laughing, all in like a span of like a minute and a half. They're gonna love this back at the camp.
Every emotion like possible the last 5 minutes.
I think that depression is my secret weapon. When things get really, really bad on an expedition or in an ultra race, I can look back to the pain I was in at the worst of my depression, and the pain I'm in an ultra race isn't that bad.
Go, Nikki!
You know, for a time, I was sleeping 18 hours a day, and when I was awake, I was very sad. I mean, there was nothing good about life. And that was a really tough part of my life, is to live through not wanting to live. I've been there and known that, yeah, if you can get through that point, happiness happens again. And it's kind of one of the things you wish you could tell to everybody when they're looking down the barrel of the gun. Like, you will find happiness again, and you can. I couldn't have fought depression without activity. Just that half a mile of walking at the worst of my depression, even though I'd be crying during part of it, I think it really helped keep me alive.
People who are suffering from depression, suffering from anxiety, granted, you're not going to cure it necessarily by getting out in the woods, but there is absolutely an enormous mental health benefit.
One of the things about depression, you know, it's not just that you feel sad, you feel nothing. And I think one of the reasons I do ultras is because it gives me the highest highs and low lows, but I can handle acute, strong lows. That juxtaposed to feeling nothing, it's just fantastic.
I can weigh in, Andrea.
Nice work, runners.
Good job, Nikki.
Do we have the scale out?
We will get it.
You're the next contestant. I'm running.
How much do you weigh?
How much did you gain today? Yeah, I'm up a ways.
Yeah, she's a little puffy.
Ooh.
Water, baby.
Good, you haven't increased
Still
at
within
all.
good range.
I feel good. I'm just a little
Tired.
I'm pretty out of it.
Yeah. A little foggy.
Yeah. Toward the end of the day, the lows were coming more frequently.
I'm working
Okay,
it
Nikki,
down.
I'm gonna be as gentle as possible, but
Okay.
these are compressions, so
Pomegranate.
just put your leg.
Mint.
If it hurts you too much, just kick me in the face.
Orange.
Pain can drive me to run faster. It gives me incentive. I feel like it's this challenge to overcome.
Yeah, the awesome.
As a physical therapist, I would not tell my patient to do what I'm doing. I mean, it's not smart.
Somebody can just hold me down if she has to operate.
No, I don't think we're going to be that.
Probably do it.
There's no way we can get the various bandages and foams and tapes we're using off without causing her some more pain. And she says, just do it. She pays highly.
That she does.
So Andrew keeps thinking we should have a podiatrist on the crew.
I very rarely, as a physician, had to be in a situation like this where I was purposefully causing pain. And it's been very, very hard.
Exactly.
She still wants to go. I'm impressed. There's no talk of stopping at this point.
I'm so ready.
Good luck, Nikki. Good luck, honey. Honey, so much.
You are awesome.
I think she is absolutely capable of doing 126 miles in 37 hours.
Yeah, it's so weird that in the last half hour I felt this good. It's bizarre.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah, it scares me because the downs are horrid.
Yeah.
So the women's record is still very, very doable. But the men's record is, I have to be on it.
Yep. Keep please, one step at a time.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all you can do.
And you know, I had to.
So I'm not doing this because I think men's records need to be taken down. Women need to take ownership of our dreams. And I want to see society change a little bit to encourage women to pursue extremely difficult goals. I want my aggressiveness and my stubbornness to be seen as good qualities, not as bad qualities. I mean, I don't want, oh, well, she's competitive and aggressive, so she's a bitch. I want to be seen as competitive and aggressive, so she's successful.
0.7, 0.3, it's going to be less than 2 miles up. The nice backpackers then told us it's going to be nice, gentle, good terrain. We're going to go by Little Rock Pond together, and we keep on the side of the rock.
Keep at it. You got it. If it wasn't hard, you wouldn't do it.
Holy schmoly.
Wow. That was good.
Not what I was expecting.
2 hours.
Yeah, that we were cruising.
Less than 2 hours, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
With how well she's running right now, but how close she's still going to be to that time, like, we cannot afford to get lost.
From here on out, it's going to be a roller coaster.
I think at this point she just needs to finish this thing, and I want her to keep going. I think if she stops to sleep, she's going to realize she's not going to break the record. I really am concerned about Nikki's decision-making. This is the point where you've gone a couple of days without much sleep at all. You literally can start to hallucinate out there on the trail.
Nope, we gotta get up and keep moving. We have to go. You ready? You want me in front of you for a while?
Okay. God damn it, why does this keep happening to me?
Don't think about it. Just think about the finish and getting there. You can do it. You can do it. I know you can do it. I saw you bounce back from this two resupplies ago. You can do it.
God, can I just have 5 minutes? I just need 5 minutes. I want to die. I need to stop.
We can't stop here. You're gonna get too cold. You can do it. You can work through it. I know you can.
Oh. I don't like You're at the fire station.
It was a rough 12 miles or whatever that was. Even, she's so tired. She's almost been up for 24 hours with about 12 hours of sleep in the last 4 days. And she just needs the rest. She can't do it right now. It means that she's probably going, not probably, it means she's going for the women's record now.
I just wanted nothing more than to just quit the whole expedition. There was nothing I wanted more that night than to just be done with it.
I feel great! The sky is blue, there's yellow birds chirping outside my window. Life is freaking phenomenal. Good job. Oh, that's
She makes that look easy
sexy.
during that part.
Get that out. That is just like, you know, I have to work harder than I ever have. And I won't get the first goal that I set out there for myself.
Finger right there and push that little one. Perfect.
It's been really hard watching Nikki go through these emotional swings. When she's up and happy, it's great because that's what she loves.
That place sucks. There are bad things in that woods.
But when she goes down into these lowest of lows, I feel like a horrible friend for encouraging to carry on. It's one of the hardest things I've ever done.
She was having a lot of lows through here.
Okay.
So I was just feeling like she really let everyone, I think as we got closer to that 6 p.m. record, she started feeling like she let everyone down. She'd missed the record. And what was the point of just putting out the miles?
You are amazing.
Go, girl.
Yay!
Good job. Okay, so what are we gonna do here for you? What can I get you?
Ice bath.
Oh, we've got a river or a creek down here. It's perfect. I took a bath in it. It's amazing. So we're gonna get you down there. What was that?
Lauren from Girls on the Run is here.
Yay!
Raising some money.
Oh, thank you.
The primary overarching goal for the whole thing was to get girls out there running and knowing that they can do anything they want to do.
Very nice.
And it was really cool to have somebody care enough to show up.
We have, and it's been so cool.
From this, yeah.
It's been so cool. And you've got 2,500 girls behind you all over the state of Vermont who are cheering you on. So
Thanks.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. And I'm just like, and I almost quit. You know, I mean, like, just think that these girls are watching me and trying to be, you know, like, hopefully being inspired to run. And I'm thinking, man, for 11 hours, I just wanted to quit. But I can close the gap between the men's and the women's, and one of your girls will come break it.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's all that matters. Yeah. You're paving the way. The coolest part. Oh my gosh, thank you. Okay, go swimming, rest up, get some food.
That's a pretty powerful moment. You know, like, wow, I'm so glad I didn't quit.
Last stretch coming up.
I'm pretty damn psyched about that. I think I finally have the smell of the barn feeling.
Okay.
All right. Sounds good. See y'all soon. Woohoo! La 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 la. Ciao.
Off into the woods we go.
All right, guys. Good luck.
We're off to see the wizard. Follow the yellow brick road.
Running is a metaphor for life in the sense that you get out of it what you put into it. You have to know not just your limitations, but even more so, your possibilities. Our life is governed by what we're capable of doing, and that determines what we become.
Want to go swimming? Why don't you soak your legs in that?
For me to just prove this, yeah, you'll see that's just
Hours and hours and hours of discomfort, they're worth those moments of bliss. The highs are so short-lived, but you remember them forever.
we have so much energy that you can't see. Roll right through it.
Nikki is inspiring because she will put herself out there and try things that she doesn't know if she can complete even. Like, I'm gonna do it and I'm gonna see if I can be the best.
For me to just prove this, yeah, you'll see that's just fuel.
I think too many girls are taught to allow fear to limit their actions. I want girls to explore their fears and to crush them. I want my long trail attempt to inspire a little girl to say, I can do better than Nikki. If I help just one person realize she is capable of so much more than her fears want her to know, this expedition has been a success.
There it is.
Williamstown!
That was perfect.
I do not know where the cap on my potential lies. So I just keep running, and that is why I run.
All right. I know.
Right.